of the Alamo City Sportscast. Guess who's going to be the guest for Monday's Los?
Who's that?
Me.
Nice.
I'm recording after this with Jeff El Jefe.
Turn chat on, please.
That is Jeff.
There it is.
So we can see the chats coming in and
Okay.
reference them and
They
whatnot.
start coming in a little bit here.
Some sweet music.
Leha was saying, "Is Mike going to be on time?" And I said, "He's already late."
Dude, I had a client meeting on the south side today, and I'm there.
That's where I drove
at
from.
Ninja's cafe or whatever on Roosevelt,
Yeah.
and I'm flying back over here.
Yeah, there was a small little rollover on the way over here. So I was
Oh,
like,
really?
oh man, I'm not gonna make it.
Oh Lord, dude, it always happens, man.
I was like, but I gotta go get those tacos. I gotta make it on time.
Hey, you live around this area, right?
No, I live at Brook City base.
Brook City base.
Okay.
You're on the south side. But did you grow up, or you're familiar with this area?
This area, maybe a little bit. I mainly stayed in the general
Okay.
McMullen area. Like,
Okay.
I was in the hood most of my
Hood.
life.
Yeah. Well, Marbach is classified as the New Mexico.
Oh, I mean, I know a lot about Marbach, but
Yeah, we were trying to get
the New
the
Mexico
city limits of Puro San Antonio.
yeah,
Does that include Ingram Park Mall area?
yeah.
Okay.
Ingram Park Mall used to be the bougie place to go to,
Yeah, it used to be.
and so was North
Here
Star.
comes
but-
the church music.
Yeah, you hear?
Father God, we want to ask you to come into our lives today.
Pass the collection plate. Don't forget to pass that collection plate.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here to celebrate this thing called life. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. And this is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio, West Bexar County, also represented. We have a special guest today, Joe Coronado. You may know him from the Chancla Academy. 500,000 subscribers, or followers rather, on TikTok. Going to join us in a couple of minutes. We have a lot to get into today. We're going to be talking about the Spurs getting yet another moral victory last night. Almost had it.
Again,
Moral victory,
it's
baby.
that commercial. What's that commercial with the insurance commercial with the old man?
Yeah.
You almost
Is
had
that
it.
it?
Gotta
Is
be
that
quicker
it?
than that.
That was the Spurs last night. Blew a 4-point lead in the last 2 minutes of the game on the road against a good Sacramento team. Road trip continues again tonight. Spurs might have a new home. The city is stepping
heard.
forward, baby. Just what I said a couple of days ago, that we have no visionaries, no one with balls in city council. Suddenly the city steps up. You know what? I'll take credit for that.
Oh God!
I'm also going to take
no.
credit also for a tall tale that happened last night.
Puros mamadas.
And I had to send it to Jeff Garcia. It freaked me out, man.
What did Jeff say?
It scared me.
You told me too, but what did Jeff say?
I probably shouldn't have told you guys, but he believes me.
Ah,
I sent him photographic evidence of what happened. But we're joined by Joe Coronado, comedian extraordinaire. I mean,
Oh, nice.
do you consider yourself a comedian? What are you, a content creator? Obviously, that.
I want to say more of a comedian, but I do a lot of sketch comedy. Is
Yeah,
what I, like.
yeah.
I love to do a lot of improv. Nothing's planned. Every video I make is just it's whatever I'm feeling in the moment, and so I just shoot it, put it out, and hope it sticks.
I think some of your favorite content that I've enjoyed is the one where you were at the HEB and you're like, "Mira nomás, look
Yeah.
at this HEB."
I know the makeup's not behind locked doors, nothing.
Or the Whataburger and the HEB.
Yeah, no, dude. I shoot that I can't even talk today. No, but somebody had told me they're like, hey, did you know they're bigger and fancier HEBs? And I was like, no, HEB is just like Las Palmas. Like that's to me, that's my HEB. And I went to a couple of them and I was like, holy crap, like some of these have stores in them.
Yeah.
Stores, pizza shops, bars. I'm like, why don't we have that on the west side? I mean, y'all make a killing, especially if y'all had a bar.
Hey, why don't they need to bring back the Chinese food they used to have at the
Dude,
HEB on
yeah.
Marbach, bro.
No, the thing.
Well, we go to Three Amigos for that.
There
Now
you go.
the thing is that by the way, I have the video up of some of this. Let
Okay.
me lower the audio on this. But you know, the west side at the very least has the 2-story HEB.
GB, yeah.
Because no other place has that. By the way, I went there one time just for shits and giggles, man,
Yeah.
because I had never been to it before, but I had always driven by on Highway 90. I had to pull off
Yeah.
to the side to see what it was like, and it freaked me out.
But I felt like I was being lied to though when they said it's 2 stories. I thought it was 2 stories worth of HEB, but when you get there, the bottom is just a parking lot. I was so upset. I was like, "Where's the second floor?" There's like a place where we can get samples, something? Is there something
Yeah.
in it? And it's just a tiny HEB that they just propped up in the air, which is cool. You get the little escalator going up and everything, but I was really disappointed when they told me, "Oh yeah, take the elevator down." I was like, "This is a freaking parking lot."
It confused me with the escalator with the shopping cart. You
Oh,
know, you
yeah.
put it down and it zooms it back up. That was just somebody's fever dream. Somebody from HEB got high one day,
Yeah,
and was like, "Okay, I got
you
it."
could just keep them up there all the time, all the time. You don't have to have this weird little contraption.
You could have just built the damn ramp, bro.
Yeah,
That's it. Problem solved. You know.
Or maybe just buy more land. I mean, that might have done it as well.
Hey, that HEB is that chiquito, dude. It's little, man.
it's very small. It's very small.
All right, let's go ahead and bring you into the fold about the tall tales, because I want to get into the tall
God.
tale. So I have lived a very interesting life. You know, I was a TV news reporter. I had a sports talk radio show at ESPN here in San Antonio.
Oh, wow.
I've always been in the middle of something, spoken to a lot of celebrities, gotten to meet people. Weird things have happened in my life. So yesterday, another weird thing happened, and we call them the tall tales because I started telling these stories, and people on our stream, by the way, we're live on YouTube, later available on all the major podcast platforms. They say bullshit. They call bullshit on me, and I'm telling them, dude, this is all true. All of this happened. So I felt bad last night. My son, he has Down syndrome, and we got a haircut with him. And when he gets a haircut, his treat, if he's a good boy getting a haircut, is he gets enchiladas. So we went to this restaurant called Sandra's, which used to be a Tinka Taco.
Yeah.
And it's on Potranco Road. And I'm there, and we're waiting for the food to come out, and I get online, and I'm on Twitter, and I see all these Yolanda Saldivar memes saying that she's going to find out who's responsible. For
Yeah,
it.
I love that meme. I love it. I love it.
I don't. What does it say? I don't know where they are. Who
I don't know,
started
but
the
I'll
outage.
find it.
But I'll
I'll find out.
So I am laughing my ass off at like 2 or 3 of them that I saw.
Yeah.
And then the waitress is coming by. I ordered an unsweet tea, but I wanted some sweet and low. But I was at a table that didn't have the sweet and low packets. So the lady's coming by as I'm laughing at the Yolanda Saldivar memes, and I asked her, "Can I get some sweet and low?" And she goes, "Sir, I'd be happy to help you. Can you give me just like 2 minutes? I want to say hi to the person at the next table." Okay. She takes like 4 or 5 steps over to the next table, and it is Selena's husband, Chris Bettis, right there.
Whoa.
And I felt like such an asshole.
I would have continued laughing.
Dude, I was like, what the hell is going on? And she goes, she said something to the effect of, "That's Selena's husband over there," and went over and said hi to him. And the whole wait staff of the restaurant came out to say hi to him. And it was a pretty dead night in the sense that, you know, maybe only 10 or 15 people inside the restaurant.
Right.
But I felt so bad laughing at memes of the person who murdered his wife, not knowing that he was like 8 feet from me enjoying some fajitas.
I believe you. That probably would have happened to me too.
I told him, why didn't you go up to him and take a picture, Mike?
I would have been up to him and be like, "Did she find it?
Did she
Did she find it?"
So the wait staff is like, "What are you doing here? What are you doing here?" He goes, "Oh, I just bought a house in the neighborhood." So I found out what neighborhood that is. It's the one catty corner to mine. So he apparently lives half a mile from me. But still, it was just weird seeing him. I didn't say hi or anything like that, but he did sit down and talk to a fan who asked questions about whatever. And I felt bad for him because they're asking
bet he's
questions.
so tired of like
The question about
hearing
Selena.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be so tired of it. I'd be like, "Look, she's gone. You know, let's let her move on." I get even more mad when I see like these like event pop-ups,
Yeah.
Selena Day, or come to our bitty bitty bum bum. And I'm like, let the poor woman rest. Y'all are literally like you're like, "Oh, her father is just making money off of her." I'm like, so are y'all.
Hey, Abraham went ahead and allowed the Spurs to put her likeness on a shirt, and they were selling it to go ahead and bring people in the arena because it was Selena Day.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Poor girl's never gonna rest.
It ain't gonna die either because you know I go to my daughter's school dances, right? Elementary school. They play all this pop music, no one cares. They play Selena music, all the kids run onto the dance floor.
Yeah.
It's never gonna die. Her music will forever live on. La Reina, I mean that's just what she is. But joined by Joe Coronado, Chancla Academy. Follow him on YouTube. Follow him on TikTok and on Twitter/X.
I have an Instagram too.
Oh, and Instagram. There
It's
you go.
right there.
All the socials.
I have
All
it
the
right there on the
right
screen.
there at Chancla Academy. So when did you get started with this? I mean, how did you figure out that this is something that you want to do is create content? Because I mean, it takes a certain skill set, but it also takes a certain mind to do so.
Yeah, no, growing up, my mom, she was a raging alcoholic, so she would just throw us in a room with all the other kids, and we would just watch TV. I'd watch stand-up comedy. My uncle would bring in a whole bunch of cassettes and stuff, and I'd watch different comics. And then at some point, I was like introduced to Dave Chappelle, and then I started watching him, and then I saw his sketch comedy show, The Chappelle Show, and I found that very interesting. So all my life, I was growing up, I was just like, man, I want to do that one day. I want to be a TV personality. Like, I would sit in front of the TV and practice. I would like rewind the tape, copy word for word, everything. And then, of course, I mean, I got older and life and girls, and I had kids at a young age and everything. And how it ended up happening was COVID was happening, and I got really sick. I thought, man, I was at the end of my life.
Damn.
Literally told my wife and my kids, I think I might be dead in the living room tomorrow because I could not breathe.
Wow.
I just couldn't. Bro. And I said my last prayer because my grandmother had already passed away, and I was just like, hey, if it's time for me to go, like, okay, let's go. Yeah. Nope. Woke up the next morning and breathing just fine, kept going, got better. My daughter was like, hey, Dad, we need to do something together. We don't have any photographic memory of you, video, because I hate it, to be honest with you. I hate putting my face on the camera. Yeah. And she's like, let's do TikTok. I was like, oh my God, this stupid dancing app. Like, there's no way. And so one thing led to another. I started looking on there, and I found that there were other people doing like sketch comedy stuff. And I said, you know what? This has been a dream of mine. I'm going to give it a go. And the first video I ever did got like 8.8 million views.
Wow.
And it was about a real experience of me with my grandmother buying her an Alexa for the first time. And she didn't want it because she's like, well, why do I need a machine to bring me food when I take care of the kids next door? That's my Alejandro over there. Like, he can turn off the lights, bring me food, bring me my soda. Like, I don't need a machine to do it. And it just blew up. And then at that time, I wasn't Chancla Academy. I was Confessions of a Poor Family. So what I started doing, I was like, you know what? I don't ever see anybody ever really truly embrace like growing up low income in the courts. They don't embrace it. So I started embracing it, and more people were like, I would be embarrassed to say this, but man, thank you for sharing your story because I grew up just like that.
Yeah.
And so my wife and I were sitting at the dinner table one day, and we were just talking about like, what I was going to do next. She's like, are you sure you want to do this full time? Because I had just gotten laid off my $65,000 a year job at Cricket as an ops manager. And I said, yeah, I think I want to do this because I had like 30,000 followers like the next morning after that one video.
Wow.
And I told her, I was like, I don't know what to do. I have to do something fun, make this fun. She's like, yeah, what's all like those life lessons, right? And I was like, yeah, it's like going to school. And she said academy, and I said Chancla, and we're like Chancla Academy.
There you go.
And then boom, the next thing you know it, I'm telling all these stories about growing up poor, my grandmother. I used to dress up as my grandmother in my videos, and I stopped doing that. Yeah. And it just kind of went from there. And then I just been experimenting with a bunch of different content ideas. Everything that I do on my page is not real except for some stuff. But people like to think that everything that's going on in my videos are real.
It's funny.
I'm like, no, I just do sketch comedy. Like, that's what it is. Yeah. And people have embraced it, and I've gotten really cool opportunities. I got to work with Rolando Molina. I got to do stuff with George Lopez, pretty well known in the city with a lot of the officials. HEB knows who the hell I am.
Oh, like,
everybody at HEB knows who I am.
They give you all access over there.
Oh, yeah. And that's like the coolest part. Like, I don't have like the biggest following. Like, altogether, I think I have like 700 and something thousand followers across,
that's
TikTok, Instagram. Yeah. But I'm probably the most well-known for the most part. Like, I mean, I get invited to almost everything. Really good friends with Erica Prosper, the mayor's wife. I've met like a lot of cool people and stuff. And I mean, I've grown, and I enjoy what I do, and I do it full time. And, I help small businesses with my platform and help them teach them about social media stuff. And I mean, that's how I got started. And that's just kind of where I'm at right now. And then now I'm here.
Now, hey, maybe you can put in a good word for us, HEB, man. I want a Wemby, that Wemby cutout. The one.
Oh, yeah, mijo. Let me just. Hey, that guy's over there. They want a Wemby cutout.
Because I was saying, because what I was saying is like, I've been reaching out to HEB, right? And I've been like, hey, man, I want that Wemby cutout, the one with all the ice cream.
Yeah.
I'm like, if they're not gonna give me one, I might just go to the one on Marbach, bro.
You know, man, HEB is probably like the hardest to get into in terms of like working with them. And I'm like an official, unofficial.
Yeah.
Like people riot when I don't like that. They had an influencer event one time and they're like, where's Chancla? Chancla does like the best HEB videos ever. Like, why didn't he get invited? And of course, you know, the people, I don't like going to those events, man. I can't be around like
a whole bunch of people.
A whole bunch of stuck up people.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Oh yeah, I cooked this brisket. Get the hell out of here. That's not how we cook brisket. You're from San Antonio, bro. Don't be acting like that. Don't be acting like that.
We're talking to Joe Coronado of the Chancla Academy on our YouTube stream. Chris Gonzalez says it's always funny with his little daughter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Ariel's the real star, man.
I remember this last video I was watching of you and her together, and she's like, "Oh, that's fail."
Now, Sith is saying that my whole algorithm on TikTok is women twerking and dogs running away.
How do you get on that?
That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Demon Mike, man.
Demon Mike. Okay, let's have some demon time over here as we talk about this. Okay, because one of the TikToks you did recently was about going to the rodeo.
Right.
And you were saying rodeo sucias.
Yeah.
So, is there a difference between a rodeo sucia and a fiesta sucia?
Just in the way they dress.
Is it the same?
One wears Jordans and the other one wears cowboy boots.
So they don't have the black feet.
They don't. Well, that's fiesta feet. That's a whole fiesta feet's a whole different ballpark.
Oh,
all right. God. I mean, those toes are mangled up. You know, they don't cut them.
That's a whole different sucia.
That's a whole different sucia. A lot of like women get mad at me because I use the term sucia, but I tell them, I was like, y'all are the ones that have fully embraced and calling each other bitch, you know? And I'm all like, look, I go, how do y'all think when I say sucia, what do y'all think I'm saying? Oh, you're calling us sluts and whores. I was like, no. I was like, I grew up knowing what a sucia was my sisters getting up in the morning and just leaving the house with PJs, their hair tied up in a bun, their fingers were red from the Kool-Aid or hot Cheetos they ate. It was more of like a kind of like lazy girl type thing. Like I'm just getting a pajama girl, if you will. Just getting out of bed. And that's who I call sucias, because usually the girls, my grandmother always said, if they put on too much makeup, they're dirty. Like they're messy. And so that's kind of like where that came from. And then I started using it. And now everybody uses the word sucia. That's
just a day in the life over here in Marbach.
That's Marbach. Marbach is that is sucia central. And then you got all the Edgars.
Oh man.
You got Edgars and sucias. They go together like Big Red and Barbacoa.
No quemas, cuz.
Yeah, no quemas.
Yeah, Chris says that one has a cowboy hat, the other has a fiesta crown.
Oh, okay, there you go,
man. So we're gonna. I can see you doing the TikToks with the fiesta crowns because that's
and you'll know you can tell like their economic status by the fiesta crown. If one lights up, that one has a little more money. She's probably a CNA or something like that.
Sith with the win today, man. Look at what he put in here. Yeah, one would give Mike a chance sober, and the other won't.
Still had sex. But
man.
This is the Alamo City Sportscast. We're with Joe Coronado. Chancla Academy. Follow him on all the social medias, but just look up Chancla Academy. It's there.
You can't miss me.
And you know, dude, you film inside of a Culebra Meat Market. If we can show this one real fast.
Oh yeah, man.
I have so much love for Culebra Meat Market.
Yeah.
People think that I'm too preppy, too yuppie. They're like, oh, you're not poodle and all that stuff. Dude, I love me some Culebra Meat Market. When COVID happened and everything was shut down and people couldn't find groceries.
Yeah.
It's because they were all going to HEB.
Yeah.
And what was so funny was I remember going to Culebra Meat Market and, you know, you see bunch of Mexicanos there.
Yeah.
And then you see a handful of white people, a handful of African American, and people getting mad going, you guys weren't here before. You guys weren't here before.
We were always here.
They always have the Mexican music playing también, you know?
Yeah.
The Michoacana. That's another one that I lived off of with COVID.
Yeah, no, I think they got people probably didn't know they were there because they moved from one side of the street to the other.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I love Culebra Meat Market. He actually reached out to me. The owner reached out to me and he's like, hey, man, I love your content. And I thought Culebra Meat Market had closed down because I haven't been like running around the west side for a long time. And then I saw that they were still open. And I was like, dude, you got to give me an opportunity to shoot in there. I want to do this whole little Big Red Barbacoa, like little love thing for Valentine's. And he's like, come and do it. Come and do it. And I went and he's like, you ever need my store for anything, come back here and we'll take care of you. Like, and he fed me and my whole film crew. He gave us like 2 pounds worth of barbacoa, tortillas, sodas, everything.
Nice.
I was all like, I couldn't ask for more. So I'm really trying to showcase as much as of what we got on the west side, because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of it's going to disappear eventually through a lot of the gentrification and these viejas that are trying to run the Mexicans out of the west side. And eventually we're just gonna be a plaque on the wall somewhere, or something's gonna become historic. And I'm trying to capture as much as I can. And he's the first of what we're trying to capture on the west side still.
Because when we're talking about things that we've lost, even right here, gentrification, the expansion, all that stuff that's been happening here throughout Marbach over the years, we lost the mall. HEB and Target used to be connected, right?
Yeah.
There was a big old mall and everything. You had an arcade. I forgot what it's called, Robotron, or I don't know what was a Robotron. It was something else. I forgot what they called it. But it wasn't a big mall. It was a little strip mall, but it was here, local. And a lot of the people that lived here would go there. And then it was a sad day. I remember going the last day before they finally just shuttered the doors to the HEB. It bulldozed it to the ground. Then me and my kids and my wife were there, and we're like, this is the last time we're going to see it the way it is now. And, we had our last little meal there, the Chinese meal and everything from the Chinese food they had. I'm like, man, I'm going to miss this, and things like that disappear. There's hardly any pictures of what it looked like before.
Yeah.
You just have those memories with you and the kids and your wife and all that. But you see, like he's saying, if people don't talk about it, if they don't film it, it disappears.
Yeah, and that's my goal right now, is if I put enough attention on these small spots in San Antonio, mainly on west and south side, I'm hoping that people will say, you can't tear that down, because whether it's me or somebody else, I want them to say Joe has given it some significance, some importance as to why it's important to our community. If they, like, I was at the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, and I've been getting kind of closer and closer to these politicians and stuff, and my end goal, and I don't care if they know what my plan is, my end goal is to preserve as much of the west side as possible. Like, they already turned, for me, when I hear the word historic Highway 90, I think of these cookie cutter houses, a bunch of white people walking around. It's like, no, that's not what made this side of town. Like, my grandfather, who worked for Bluebell down the road as a mechanic, working 15, 16-hour days, coming out, bringing ice cream to all the kids in the neighborhood. That's what made this area. Like, this is what made Highway 90, those tire shops, those, small restaurants, everything. That's what makes this side.
The party places where you can buy the piñatas and all that.
All the bars are, Freddy's is gone on that one road on Highway 90. I remember Freddy's. That was my first bar I ever went to. I was 17 and they stuck me in.
Do you know what will never die, though? What will never die? That's going to dovetail to one of the TikToks you did recently. It has a different name, but Joe's Volcano.
That place will never die.
Dude, there could be another meteor that would talk all the dinosaurs.
Dude, sorry.
Dollar.
Hold on.
He does that all the time.
No, it's because I'm trying to switch between.
We talked about this earlier this week. If he accidentally plays the music for no reason, it was going to be $1. Yes.
Put in the jar.
No, but it was so funny. You did a TikTok the other day about nightclubs from back in the day.
Yeah.
And you asked the question, which are the three that you remember the most?
Yeah.
And I know that you predominantly focus more on the west and south side. And Joe's Volcano back in the day, man, that was just a Sunday night at Joe's.
I remember going to Joe's.
It was cheap drinks. It was the girls from Jay, Holmes, and Jefferson that would go out there. Maybe some Edison girls out there as well. Memorial.
Yeah. I remember getting fucked up on the $2 cherry vodka sours. We just go in there and just like throw them back and get super messed up. And then there was always a fight. Something happened. Some ruca got it. I'm gonna beat this bitch's ass because she's staring at my man.
The fight at Joe's Volcano was always women.
Yeah.
But
always.
If you go to Graham's, though, it was always dudes. Someone was gonna get stabbed at Graham's, and I saw somebody get stabbed at Graham's, run into the restroom, and it was like no big deal.
Yeah.
But then you had that other side of it all, right? So you had the side that was like the west side, coming together for Joe's Volcano. But then you had Planeta.
Dude, I
further
remember
down the
Planeta,
street, near Medical Center. That was a completely different vibe. Those were the girls from St. Mary's. Those are the girls that were that now live in Stone Oak. All leg. Like, Latinas don't have legs like that on the west side.
Yeah, no, the reason why I focused on those three was because those were the ones I predominantly went to. Like, one of the main ones, I used to go to the Bonham a lot because that was like the first nightclub that really like let in like youngsters, 18.
Yeah.
So that was like my first nightclub experience. But I remember mainly going to Joe's, and there would be it was literally like a collar shirt. That was the dress code.
Yeah.
But I intentionally left a whole bunch of them out because I wanted to see how many people actually remembered other nightclubs.
Atrium,
Dude, Atrium, Noche Caliente, like their Ice Lounge.
Noche
Sparkling was
Caliente.
amazing.
What was it, the Kremlin or whatever?
Oh,
it was.
the Kremlin,
yeah. Like, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see how much do these people really love their city? Do they remember any of these nightclubs? Right?
Yeah.
Maybe their parents talked about it or whoever. And sure enough, a bunch of people were just like, yeah, this nightclub and this, and you forgot this one, you forgot this one. I'm like, okay.
You had the ballrooms like Randy's back in the day.
No.
I know. I can't
man.
believe Randy's is closed. I just
Yeah.
saw that they were boarded up, and I was like, what the hell's going on?
That's
It's like
historic.
it's like
That's historic. Yeah.
it's like a spirit store now, you know.
Spirit
Right.
Halloween coming soon.
Hey, that's where the rumored devil showed up. You're
Damn,
from San
you just
Antonio.
gave me an idea. Now I'm gonna drive to Bandera on the way home, and I'm gonna put a Spirit Halloween banner
There
over there.
you go.
Joined by Joe Coronado of the Chancla Academy. Follow him on TikTok. 500,000. What did you do to celebrate? Because you're at 474,000
Mhm.
followers on TikTok. What's the big celebration when you get to 500,000? That's 500,000, baby.
Dude, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been doing this for so long that I think if I were to hit 1 million followers, I probably would not care. It's just you know when you've been doing something for so long, kind of like your job that you
Yeah.
did before, you become so numb to it. You're just kind of like, oh, another celebrity. And it's like
Yeah.
I hit 10,000. Like on Instagram, I'm growing fast right now, and people are like, "Aren't you excited? You're gonna hit 200K?" And I'm like, I hit that a long time ago on TikTok.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I'm not big on like the numbers and stuff. Like I appreciate it, but I've never been like, I'm gonna go buy like these gold balloons and then celebrate. Like,
no, the big balloons that say 500. I'm picturing that scene in The Social Network when they're
oh yeah,
when it's all the wall of plasmas and they're like
yeah.
almost getting to
Oh,
1 million and they
God.
get all excited. That's what it would be, dude.
You know
That's
what? I think for me it's because I have friends that work at TikTok and Instagram. I've gotten so analytical about everything that the reason why the number doesn't mean so much to me anymore is because like now I know that like maybe 8 or 9% of that actually like is following me or watches my stuff, and
Yeah.
it gets really like. But I mean, I'm excited for the number. It's a huge number. It's a milestone for anybody. But the way I see it is like, man, there are probably like how many people on Earth are there that probably have the same amount of followers as I do? So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not that special. But what I do pride myself on is whatever I do locally, that's when I'll celebrate.
Yeah.
John C reaches out to us on our YouTube stream saying, my wife was a shot girl
At the
at,
Kremlin.
at the
Oh,
Kremlin.
damn.
Yolanda is in the house right now saying,
Bermea.
I'm a Jeff girl. We would hit Joe's volcano at 8 for the buffet and stay till closing time.
Damn, Joe's had a buffet? I don't remember
Back
that.
in the day, dude. Way back in the day. Yeah.
Damn, was it surf and turf?
I don't know, man. It was probably just regular little bar fare kind of stuff, man.
Was it better or worse than strip club food?
Yeah, was it
it's-
better or worse than Sugars?
Strip club steaks are top tier, bro. They're not bad. The best $5 steaks you're gonna get. Just don't buy a drink because that's like $20.
Oh, rest in peace, All Stars.
Oh
It
yeah,
closed
bro.
down
Dude,
2
oh,
weeks
yeah,
ago.
yeah,
Shut
yeah.
it down.
I was really confused when I went to my first nightclub. I mean, my first strip bar because it was like surf and turf, and I was just kind of
What is
like,
that?
I thought they were talking about something else. I was just like, so I'm gonna put my steak in there or what? Like, how's this gonna work? Isn't that hot for you, lady? Like,
Yeah.
and so I found out they give you like lobster tails, but yeah, no. All Stars closing down. I saw they were selling the sign. I was like, oh my god, just
30 grand.
30 grand. I would have sold that thing for more. That thing's
30
historic.
Now speaking of seafood, what's your stance, your political position on Fred's fish fry?
Fuck that place.
And you know what? This is the stance though, because it's been a staple here in San Antonio for many years, but
It
they could have
survived COVID. I don't understand.
they had an opportunity to do something really unique here with the culture and with local artists. And
Yeah.
instead, we're gonna sue your ass.
We're gonna sue your ass.
Oh.
I reached out to the guy. He kind of gave me some insights or whatever. And I even made a whole video about it. And I even tried reaching out to Fred's Fish and telling them like, you're missing this opportunity.
They are.
Like, and then they went and made their own jersey, which looked like absolute shit.
Look like ass.
Yep.
It looked like something you pick up at the Pulga.
Yeah.
And they were selling it for like $50 or whatever. And some people bought it or whatever. But I think San Antonio, unfortunately, with most places, are completely out of touch with the local artists that like the people in the city that build the culture that is San Antonio. I guess these people just want to they want to be Austin or something. I don't know what the fuck, but
Yeah. We have a lot of creatives here and a big artist community here.
Yeah, I think it's time for San Antonio right now, and I'm at that point where I'm probably going to start speaking up a little bit more on how San Antonio treats creators, because there's a lot of us that work really, really hard to make the city what it is or showcase our city, and they don't appreciate us at all one bit. We're not asking for money, we're not asking for anything. We're just asking to say, hey, these are the people that are trying to make a wave in our city to represent us, or at least to put us out there to showcase what we have to offer. And all they're focused on is obesity. I'm sorry, he's all sitting there. if you're not talking about food, if you're not talking about the Spurs, if you're not talking about Fiesta, they don't want anything to do with you. And we're more than that. Like when we're talking about Puro San Antonio, right? Yeah. I left San Antonio for like 4 years. I lived in Florida for a while. And when I came back, I realized when I was over there how much I miss San Antonio, because it was like, man, they don't have this, they don't have that, and I don't see these kind of people, and I'm always waiting to experience this kind of thing. And then you start realizing all the little things that you didn't really notice before. And then when you get back, it's even a more different perspective, because you're like, oh my God, do we really act like this? Do we talk like this? And I wish San Antonio would embrace that more. And I'm trying to break that mode with the way I make my content and how I speak and the people that I'm posting my content to, because I really want people to say, okay, this is who I'm going to do a whole rant about it later. Yeah. In a video. But I think we need to accept that we are loud, we are ghetto, we're fat, we love tacos, we're sucias, we're Edgars, we're all these things, because that's just what makes San Antonio San Antonio.
That's our culture.
That's our culture. That's our San Antonio culture.
I wanted to get into this discussion with you, because we're going to pivot a little bit here, because we're talking about what it means to be puro, right?
Yeah.
So this was a big discussion across social media here over the last couple weeks, 2 weeks or so. I saw it on Instagram, TikTok. I even saw it on the X now. And can't call it Twitter, it's the X. Ooh. And people are going back and forth with each other about what does it mean to be puro. And they were having arguments. Some people were like, well, this is what it means to me. This is what it means to me. Everybody has a different view of that.
Well, before you answer that, to kind of combine with your thoughts, it's like politics where you have to be all left or all right.
Yeah.
Do you have to be all puro, or can you just have shades of it? Because I mentioned yesterday that I'm not a big fan. People know who watch this show. I'm not a big fan of Fiesta. I'll go.
Yeah, me neither.
But I'm not a big fan. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But the second thing is, I'm not the biggest fan of Tejano music.
Neither am I.
Dude.
Oh.
All right,
neither am I.
There. Door's right there.
I'll probably leave.
There can only be one.
This is what we're saying, man. Like, I grew up with Tejano, cumbias, and all that every weekend. That's all I used to listen here every time we have a small family gathering.
Right.
And small, you're talking like 30, 40 people,
Yeah.
Because that was just immediate family, without everybody else being there. But that's what I grew up with. And it's not like I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to go and put $5 in a jukebox and say, I just want to listen to Puro Tejano. I'm not saying that. It's part of the culture. I do vibe to it. I like it. But it's not something I actively request.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, the problem I have with Tejano is not so much that I would never listen to it, because sometimes it would. I mean, I don't have control of it playing in the background or anything like that or whatever. And I've heard some songs that I probably I have a little favor to. But I think for me is that we focus too much on it, that it's become a stereotype for San Antonio. And when it comes to the music scene, for someone like me who just threw the first ever all local rock fest here in San Antonio, which was very successful.
Nice, yeah.
We were able to show a different side of the music scene that we have, which was, San Antonio is a rock and roll city too, and a lot of the people that play in Tejano bands are in rock bands. And so I was trying to tell people, I even at one point tried to get Tejano bands and rock bands together, because I wanted Tejano musicians to turn rock music into, and vice versa.
Tejano.
Yeah, I wanted to melt the pots together, but they laughed at me about it. 2 years later, some guy called Easy Band does a Tejano. I think he did I forget the name of the song, but he did like an emo song with mixed as a Tejano song, and it blew up, and people started doing it. And I'm like, I told you. But I want people to like really see what the fuck.
I know they're not from here, but have you seen?
Is this Metalachi?
Metalachi.
Yeah, dude, I know exactly who they are.
God, bro, what the heck? That is cool, man. I like that.
But no, I want people to see what we have to offer other than just Tejano, man. We focus too much on it. I think we get Tejano music like 6 months out of the year. There's Tejano Fest, and then you got Fiesta, and then you got this other Tejano thing, and it's like, come on, man. Like, we can do a little bit better. We have so many great rock musicians.
Yep.
We have so many great country musicians. We have all these great talents, you know, and it sucks to see that people aren't willing to make a change a little bit.
John C. reaches out and says that Metallica has one time stated that San Antonio is the hard rock capital of the world. You know, it's funny when you talk about hard rock music. Did you know that there's been a study done on what rock music is considered by like every part, or classic rock is by every part of the country? Like classic rock in the Northeast is Billy Joel.
Oh my God.
It's Simon and Garfunkel. Over here, it's like, you know, everything from, you know,
Pantera,
Queen and
man.
Pantera and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then you go to other places and it's like, you know, grunge.
Yeah.
That what classic rock is different wherever you go.
Yeah. I don't know. When I hear the word like Tool, Pantera, I think San Antonio immediately.
No.
Because I'm like, it's that 99.5 Kiss effect. It's just like super
Man.
dad rock.
You know, you're speaking to 99.5, and I just friended Steve Hahn from
Nice.
99.5.
Yeah.
Old school.
I want to reach out to him so bad because I want to get that soundbite. Because one of our listeners here is always putting on Fridays.
Yeah.
It's Friday and we don't give a damn. Remember that audio soundbite they used to play? I freaking love that. I want to get the OG as another guest on the show, man.
My favorite from Lyle and Hahn is when they would do a news minute.
Yeah.
And they said, and now news from abroad. And she'd go, thanks, guys.
He used to do a bit. He used to do a bit that was so funny. It was with Yolanda, right? Like if she was in prison or something like that, and they would ask Yolanda anything. That's what the bit was. It was so funny. Like if you go back and you look up past episodes on YouTube, you can listen to that, and it is hilarious.
So Matt Lerman has taken exception to Queen, Pantera. So like when I listen to 995 Kiss, right?
Mm-hmm.
They play STP a lot, which I don't mind because I kind of grew up in that era.
Yeah.
But growing up, you'd go on there and it was a lot of Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, every once in a while you'd have the whole Lita Ford aspect of it all. But it would go back to everything from the Who to Zeppelin and all that stuff. And that's cool, man. That's cool. But it's I find it interesting now because how old are you?
38.
You're 38. Okay, I'm 46. Right now, the kids that are in high school go back 20 years for their music.
Yeah.
So right now they're going back to 2000, and there ain't much there. I mean, there's Linkin Park, and then there's Limp Bizkit.
No,
I have your answer for you as to why that is. I surveyed 35 teenagers and asked them, why do you listen to old school music, right? Especially here in San Antonio. Why? And they're like, because we don't know where the good musicians are at in San Antonio.
Oh, okay.
They don't know where to go locally. Because do you remember back in the 2000s, like the White Rabbit and that, when musicians were coming up, when being in a band was cool, like everybody knew every local band, like it was the cool thing. Now they're like, everything is just one genre. It's just like metal, which is cool because San Antonio loves metal. It's just metal. They're like, we don't know who to look for in San Antonio. When I did the Rock Fest, people thought that half of my bands were from Austin. And that sucked because I was like, no, like these bands are here.
They're local.
Yeah, they're local and they're amazing musicians.
And was that Rock Fest over in Poteet? Or where
so we did the first Rock Fest here at Alamo Beer Company. It was the
Okay.
first one on April 8th. We had Upon a Burning Body headline. They're from San Antonio. So it was an all local Rock Fest. It was a free event.
That's even better.
We had like 3,000 people show up. And it was an amazing show. I mean, we did a lot of good. We got a lot of promo out there, and people were literally crying to me. They're like, "Oh my God, this is what we needed," because River City Rock Fest is gone, and you know we're never gonna get anything like this. And this year, I didn't get a whole lot of love of being able to do the second one here.
Teo Castro, 46. His age and pant size are the same. You're off by 6. I wear 40s. That's funny.
Yeah, no, we got asked to do the Poteet this year.
That was a great line, dude. I will give props. Thank you so much.
Burn.
I'm down 17 pounds.
Oh,
I'm down to a 40. That's great. I saw that off the side. That was good, man. That was so fucking good. You know what? Because I get piled on and just roasted all the time.
Bro.
And everyone, and like, there's nothing that stands out. That was a good one.
Yeah, no,
that was.
I just read it because I was like, wait, what?
That was like, I really can't. But hey, you're off by 6 inches. That's what she said, by the way, to you. Jason
That's really
Garcia
small.
reached out to us on our stream saying that you should go do some sort of sketch over at a San Antonio FC tailgate.
Oh.
Yeah, you haven't been to the tailgate. So the tailgates are pretty cool when you go to SAFC over by Toyota Field. So they have supporter groups, right? These are the guys that have been really supporting the team. You know, they get all crazy and they have chants, little drums, and they release the smoke grenades every time they score a goal. It's pretty cool. They're a rowdy crowd. But before the game, they have a free tailgate.
Yeah.
So they give you beer that's local from local breweries here in San Antonio. And they have food. You get to walk around, get to meet some really cool people, and just chill out before the game starts. So you get a little litty before you get into the arena, you know. But it's a really cool place, man.
Yeah, I got to check it out. I got invited to a Brahmas game, and I was kind of like, I'm not a big fan of sports, but like, if that was my first experience at a football game, I was like, this ain't it. I was all like, I didn't know what the hell was going on. It was just a bunch of middle-aged people yelling in the field, and I'm all like, don't ever anybody invite me to a football game.
Do you ever go to UTSA games?
UTSA is different.
No, I'm actually going to my very first Spurs game March 12th.
Really?
First game.
First
game ever.
Whoa.
I'm Mexican and I grew up without a dad, and he never took me anywhere. Yeah, no, I never really did sports. I mean, I'm more of like I like UFC, and of course I'm a wrestling fan. But I love like more fights, boxing. That's my kind of sports I'm into. But yeah, it's gonna be my first Spurs game. Apparently, they're gonna give me like the royal treatment while I'm there. So I'm like, it's the Chamber of Commerce that's doing this. I'm like, all right.
Well, let's talk about last night. Get into some sports. The Spurs almost had it, dropped to 11-45 on the season, losing to the Sacramento Kings.
Is it the mantra from the
127 to 122? We've got some highlights here, courtesy of Bally Sports. Devin Vassell went off, man. And the thing about this game, the Spurs were within 2 or 4 or 5 points the entire way. Spurs finally got the lead late in the fourth quarter, up 4 points with 2 minutes to go, and wet the bed. Spurs were up 120 to 116. Got outscored 11-2 to end the game. A big night, though, for Devin Vassell. My man, 32 points last night, 13 of 18 shooting, knocked down 3 of 4 from 3. Victor Wembanyama was so offensively. When this is a bad game for Wemby, you know he's special because he still had 19 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks, 5 steals, 4 assists, and it was still kind of a game. That's how you know he's good. When you get that stat line, and he could have been better.
Devin Vassell had a pretty decent game.
He is, and his points per game have now increased to 19.1, which is a career high.
Yeah.
So maybe a lot of Spurs fans kind of got pissed off a little bit too early on this guy. You know, they wanted him on the trading block, but the last 12 to 14 games, Vassell's been averaging over 23 points per game. He's doing a fantastic job out there. His efficiency has gotten to be really high. We had a pretty decent game from City Osman yesterday. I mean, he only played 11 minutes, but when he was out there, he was making an impact. Hey, Julian Champagny got double digits for the first time in like a year. 10 points in 17 minutes. Sohan played 36 minutes, had 16 and 8. Not a bad game. Trey Jones, 10 points last night, but the Spurs, again, blew that lead in the fourth quarter, up 4 points with 2 minutes to go.
What did your son do, Sohan?
Well, Sohan had a decent game. He didn't have a great game, but didn't have a bad game. He's fine.
I'm impressed with the whole run through you just did right now. I thought y'all read like that off of teleprompters and shit. I was like, oh my God, I'm watching this live right now. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, no,
you sound just like the guy on TV.
I've done that before. I lived that life.
It's like you had some experience before.
Oh, I know. And it's funny because people will say that that Joe and I will sometimes go off to these really hard takes, these wild takes, and like we know that you guys script that and all that stuff. I'm like, dude,
it's not scripted. I can tell you that right now.
Okay, how much time did I show up into the room before we were on air?
Like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I rolled up and I was in my car. Sometimes he starts the 2-minute timer. I'm calling him. I'm like, dude,
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. I'm a mile away.
He's like, I'm pulling your neighborhood. I'm down the street, Joe. Start the timer.
Start the timer. So it's funny. So some of the takes that we get sometimes piss people off. I had a take yesterday, which I thought was more well received than others. And it was tear the Institute of Texan Cultures down. Okay. No one cares. Just because something happened back in 1968 and the hemisphere was there was a World's Fair 50 years ago, no one cares.
It's basically a parking lot. It's it.
Dude, okay, first of all,
Get rid of the Riverwalk.
if you want to bring back history in San Antonio, bring back the Buttercrust Bakery.
Yes,
Right?
please.
And bring back Malibu Castle. And
Dude,
I'd be a
man.
happy
That
man.
and Funtown.
Fun town.
okay,
Off of General
okay.
You know it's for
McFarland.
sale. I'm trying. I have this idea. I have all these followers. If I can get every single one of these followers to donate $1 to my Cash App, I will buy that place and I will put back the go-karts. I will put back everything that it was.
Yeah, man. That arcade was really good back in the day.
I miss
Air
it so
hockey
much.
tables and
That's
all
the
that.
first time I learned how to drive. Those
little go-karts.
little go-karts, man.
You
Hey,
know,
that was a jewel back over there on the south side of town over there because
Mhm.
there wasn't really anything. If you wanted to go to an arcade, a legit one, you had to travel all the way over here to Malibu.
Yeah.
You know, or you could go to the Century South Theater because they had a hell of an arcade back in the day
Yeah.
before it became the Mayan. I
Yeah.
remember we used to get dropped off there. Our tias would drop us all off, and we would give us rolls of quarters,
Yeah.
and they would leave us there the whole
I remember
day.
when South Park Mall had a movie theater in it.
Yeah,
Like I
remember
saw
that.
Jurassic Park there.
I saw Terminator 2 there with my cousins.
Damn. Some good movies, man.
Yeah, it was some good times, man. South Park Mall was low key like a little jewel that not a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
people knew about. The TG&Y, it was like going to like
TG and
things
Y.
that were frozen in history.
I hadn't heard those letters combined in a while.
You would go there, dude, and it was like things were just frozen in history, all full of dust. And you would look at it was probably expired from God knows when.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, oh, mira, look at this. I didn't know they
Dude.
still had this around, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Or the
God.
Winds, you know?
The Winds, yeah. Yeah, I remember Winds. My mom used that's where we shopped a lot. That was our mall.
Yeah, man.
We-
that
we
place
could-
was great.
I remember the first time we ever went to Ingram Mall when it was like the banging place to be, and we were like, oh my God. And then we
Yeah.
discovered North Star Mall. That was even we were so out of place walking there. So
looking at the price tags for everything.
we're like, whoa. $29.99. Mom, where are we?
Okay, so the mall that is over on Fredericksburg and 410. Do you consider that to be Wonderland or is that Crossroads?
That's Crossroads. That's not Wonderland. I don't know why they gave it that stupid name. I mean, it's almost fitting because you kind of we walk around and they're wondering like, where the hell is everybody? That's the most. But they do a lot of pop-up events there now,
Yeah.
which is okay, but it just cheapens them all. Like I like the whole, like when you walk in there and there's nothing going on, it's just dead. It reminds me of like Day of the Dead. You know,
It
walking
is.
in, I'm like, oh, I want to walk in here and it just be creepy and
And Ingram Park Mall has been invaded, by the way, by the senior citizen walkers.
yeah.
who
Every
go by,
morning.
who go
I
up and
smell
down.
tennis balls. Yeah.
Talking to Joe Coronado, Chancla Academy, about all things San Antonio, all things Poodle. You're talking about the Marbach area, right? I had the fortune last year of doing some business in Dallas, right?
Okay.
And what I didn't realize, because I was driving down the street one time, down the freeway, I saw a sign that reminded me of 410 and Marbach back in the day. Did you know that in Houston, Dallas, and Fort Worth, they still have Pancho's Mexican buffet?
Dude, yeah, I know. I heard about that because I was like so mad because me and my wife missed the little flag and the sopapillas and everything. Me and my wife are just, she goes, for my anniversary, please just take me to a Pancho's.
They have one in Houston.
Yeah, we're going to go to
Yeah.
the one in Houston. I told her I'll take you. I don't want to go to Houston, but I'll take you.
I have the photo here of me with my son raising the flag at the Pancho's there in
Showing
outside of
me how much
Dallas.
money you got in your pocket. Look at me. I drove all the way to Houston.
no,
I miss that place. I miss that.
Okay, other question about
Yeah.
just San Antonio in general. Who has the older waitresses now? Is it Little Red Barn or is it Luby's?
Luby's on Fredericksburg.
Oh man.
They closed Las Palmas down, man. And
Oh, that's
those
sad,
ladies
dude.
have been there for forever. I remember some of them from when even I was a kid. And so when they closed Las Palmas, they closed a bunch of locations. And I've been to all of the remaining Luby's, and a lot of the staff is pretty young. But the one on Fredericksburg has the oldest staff.
I'm surprised the one over here on 1604 is still open. You
Is
know,
it? Yeah,
the
yeah,
Luby's
yeah,
there. It's
yeah.
still open. I was like, when they were closing locations, I thought that was going to be one of the ones to go because they don't see a lot of people there, but it's still open.
You still have the one right there too. Well, I think you're probably talking about the same one near like the St. Mary strip.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
Okay.
Did they have one in Ingram Mall?
Yeah, and they
Right?
closed it down too.
Yeah, and they closed that
They
down.
closed the one on 281 and Bassey on the north side. Not Bassey, 21 and Bitters. And check this out if you can show the screen. They turned the Lubies into a poker house.
Jesus.
That is the entrance of the poker house. And look, where you used to eat, have your Luann's right there. Now check this out.
Look at that gentrification.
Where you would get your food. there's
Oh
food
my
line.
God.
It's now a nice bar.
Oh my God. What are
You
these
see,
people doing?
Mike says that's a nice bar. I told him, you know what? The little bar that they have over here at the West Lakes
Yeah.
Santikos location. I said, it's nice. And that's where we got that phrase. One of
What's
the guys.
a nice bar?
Yeah, he
Like,
goes, it's nice for
gray
Marbach.
plank flooring.
No, okay. So
He
first
said
of all-
it's nice for Marbach. And then
No,
somebody in
no.
the comments goes, it's
It's
Marbach
Marbach
nice.
so yeah, I went to go see that Carrie Von Erich movie or the Von Erichs movie.
Oh, yeah, the Iron
Keith
Claw.
and Carrie- Iron, there, there you go, Iron Claw. We went to go see that, and I told him, I said, yeah, I went to Westlakes for it, and it used to be called Alamo Draft House, and then it was Westlakes before that. Now it's back to being Westlakes. It has changed names as often as Crossroads Mall has. And Joe was excited for me. He was like, "You were in the hood. That place is nice.
That's my place.
He goes, that was nice." And I'm like, "Dude, I go to Flicks.
I go there too.
I go to Alamo Draft House. I go to Palladium every once in a while. Casablanca.
I go to Casablanca.
Those are
That's ghetto.
well,
It's
compared
ghetto.
to Palladium.
Mike, it's ghetto.
And he goes,
It's part of the hood now.
Westlakes is nice. And I was like, I mean, it was all right.
It's
I'm like,
then
it's
John
nice.
John reaches out to us on our YouTube stream and goes, "It's Marbach nice."
So
Which
we made that, put it on a shirt now. You know, it's available for purchase, and it says it's Marbach nice. So it's like you could go walk around town and people will look at that and they'll be like, "What's
You
up?"
know it's ghetto when you see girls wearing lashes in when I was at Casablanca, I saw a girl walking with a big old bag of hot Cheetos and stuffed it in her baby diaper bag.
Again,
Oh,
it's
Lord.
not against. It's like counting cards in Vegas. It's not against the law. It's not against the rules. It's just frowned upon.
Oh no, I don't care that she was sneaking them in. I just knew she was a sucia because she had a big old bag. I'm gonna use my kid's diaper bag to bring these
Dude,
in.
Hot Cheetos.
I remember back in the day going with my dad to Spurs games at Hemisphere Arena. And I remember people would take food over there and just be up there in the cheap seats and seeing families bring out boxes of Church's chicken,
Dude.
Oh,
and
man.
just eating fried chicken in the middle of the stands. And I'm like, that takes balls.
Do you remember when Church's chicken used to be good? I don't
Oh,
know
I remember,
what
dude.
the hell's
Remember
happening.
when Whataburger was good?
Yeah, now it's trash.
Remember when Taco Cabana was good?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
I don't know what's up with
Dip
all of their
down.
meat. Like I bought chicken tenders from Church's. They were tough and chewy. Like I was chewing on tendon or something. Same thing with Taco Cabana. I bought a fajita burrito that I always used to order. Same thing. It's like this. We're getting like this Hill Country Fair meat or something.
Taco
It's nasty
Cabana.
now, man.
I remember
Yeah.
getting mad when I got like I ordered to go some nachos
Mhm.
and they put queso on there as
Yeah.
opposed to shredded cheese. You have to specifically ask for shredded cheese over there. Now, Whataburger is still good. It used to be great.
Yeah.
That's the difference. It was great before Chicago company took over. Now it's good, but now you get Whataburger on the Vegas Strip because they opened up their first one last week, or the week of the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
over
look,
there.
This burger tastes
Two-story.
like whores.
Yeah, they have an open bar, man. So. But hey, speaking of the Spurs and old arenas and things like that, the new arena for the Spurs might be at the Institute of Texan Cultures. They might be going back to Hemisphere Park, right next to the Tower of Americas. City of San Antonio apparently getting the green light to buy the property.
They're finally gonna do it right.
You know what? It had to be done.
I'm like, come on,
It
man.
had to be done.
So many fucking stadiums. What are we gonna do with all these places?
But you know what? It always comes at a price, though. And you know what? This is going to be the telltale sign. Look at what happened with the Alamo Dome, right? Oh, it was ahead of its time or whatever. It was always ugly a box, right?
Right.
You have an opportunity to do something really nice with the architecture. You know,
Yeah.
stand out, make it look nice. Be like, it's a beautiful place. You want to go and be inside. You want to see and all that. See it on the skyline. What do you think they're going to do with this place? It's going to be probably just a round little box of something.
Now, I think because the money's coming from Austin and you have the Dell family involved
Mhm.
and you have Austin family, they're not going to go out there and do a cookie cutter type of an arena.
Make it a fucking sombrero, dude. Fuck it.
Well, I mean,
I would. That'd be pretty cool.
I drove to Houston the other day and I was went to go visit my daughter in Louisiana, coming back through Houston, and I'm trying to avoid traffic. And I'm going to this part of town in Houston that I'm not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that's NRG Stadium where the Texans play.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful. It's a cathedral.
Nice.
It's a cathedral. And what I don't want is the Spurs and the city of San Antonio just go up there and just put up the minimum standard of an arena. Let's make it nice. Let's do something there. But as long as it's close to downtown, close to the hotels, close to the Riverwalk. I mean, someone said, hey, we can go from Nyosa to the game. We can go to the game to Nyosa. Now you're talking. And it's centralized because no one wanted to go to East Houston to watch games.
There is nothing out there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even the golf course is shut down for years. Willow Springs, my goodness. But again, city of San Antonio going over there. And you have all these people going, oh, the Institute of Texas Culture is so historic. Just because something happened a long time ago doesn't make it historic.
Yeah.
Okay. If George Washington took a shit behind this house and the shit was left there and petrified over the years, it's not historic that he took a shit there.
I'm going to say that line to my wife. Just because I married you 10 years ago doesn't make it history. All right. Doesn't make us married.
She won't let you in.
She's got to. I pay her bills. I hope she heard that.
Oh, man.
So I can sleep on the couch tonight. I want my own space.
Okay, so the Super Bowl was a couple of weeks ago. And oh, wait, entertainment bump.
Entertainment bump. Here we go, man. I got to change, though. And look, nothing happened.
There you go. Ready? On 3. There you go.
Oh, nice. Sounds like a Mario game.
Talking to Joe from Chancla Academy. We talk a lot about pop culture here, right? And a lot of people are supportive. Some people hate him, whatever the case may be. But let's talk about Travis Kelce. Okay, he is now on the road. He is taking the show on the road. He is now in Australia, following his girlfriend Taylor Swift around. There's photos on TMZ. He is in Sydney. What were your thoughts on this man right here?
Oh, let me see.
Suddenly dressing like this and following Taylor Swift around.
He looks like my abuelita's friends, like they're getting ready to go to the market square.
Looks like a mumu.
Yeah, like those the tabletop, the placement map things, whatever they
knit.
Yeah, yes. That's what he looks like.
But no, I'm supportive of it. You know, I find it funny because some people get so mad on Twitter, get so mad on TikTok about Travis Kelce because he had some very beautiful African American girlfriends for so long with the booty. And
Taylor with a good credit score.
Taylor Swift, she's beautiful, she's pretty. Don't got the ass, she got legs though.
Yep.
But she's also got $1 billion in the bank.
For me, I really don't care about celebrities' lives. I just always find it funny that how stupid could you be? Like, eventually this chick is about to write an entire album about you. Exactly, like that's how that. And I'm like, my daughter was like walking me through the whole like Taylor Swift thing. She's like, every album has a few songs about the guy she dated before, and I'm all like, I wouldn't want to date that. Like, she's gonna talk about me. Shit.
I wouldn't know if I would want to be with the celebrity. Period, man.
Yeah, no,
man. Because you know they're gonna talk about you once you break up.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, I mean, when I was at the Chamber of Commerce, they had a Taylor Swift flag in there too. I was like,
my God,
put a Trump flag up there, please. What the hell are you doing? Take that Taylor Swift prep down. But yeah, no. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think of it because I know a lot of my friends have been talking about it, and I'm all like, who the hell is this guy? Because I don't watch football and stuff. But yeah, I was like, who the hell is this guy? I know who Taylor Swift is. They're like, yeah, like he's doing this, and she's been at his games, and she's gonna make us lose. And I'm like, man, I don't give a damn.
Now you mentioned your wife, and we're also kind of talking about girlfriends and things like that. The hall pass, the celebrity hall pass. If you can name 4, it's like the Mount Rushmore of hotties that you go up to your wife and say,
"This is the Sucio segment."
Yes, these are the 4 that I'm allowed to,
go fuck,
step out on.
Yeah,
who are your 4?
Well, Sofia Vergara is probably like my first one.
Nice.
As
long as she doesn't talk, right?
If she gives like she talks, go for it. However, you're rolling them R's, maybe I need that. One dude, she's not alive anymore, but I've always had this thing for China from the WWE. I don't know. It's just that big, like, take me home, mommy. Like,
She
I'm,
carry you
I'm
to
a
the
little
room.
scared because I remember China.
yeah.
It never moved for her, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think I just like being dominated because that's kind of like how my wife is. So I think that's just what it is. It's not the hey.
Do you need help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you need support?
Oh no, not like that.
Okay.
Oh, did you got any blue chew?
Mike needs some blue chew. Demon Mike.
Demon Mike. No, you're just like I'm being dominated. I was like, do you need a safe space?
A
Just
safe
spank
word.
me. That's all I need you to do.
What's
Just
your
spank
safe
me.
word?
My third is Hillary Clinton. No, I'm just kidding. To be honest with you, I've never really put any thought into it. There's probably like the only two that I'd probably like would want to like go with. But I love my wife, so just so she knows.
All right,
'cause-
celebrity crush. Who was your celebrity crush growing up?
Oh, the Pink Ranger.
Oh man,
Kimberly was
everybody's
till this day.
crush.
Till
She's-
this day, she still looks good. I'm all
She's
like,
still
man,
hot. And she's still hot now. She's gonna be hot forever.
I'm gonna morph these pants off.
Mario Cavazos on our YouTube stream. China has a bigger dick than you, bro.
That's the whole point, bro. I'll suck her dick.
Oh man.
Yeah, China didn't do it for me. There's a lot of hotties in the WWE.
I got in trouble for
She
bringing
ain't
her
one of
Playboy to my school. I got suspended,
Really?
yeah, and then I got on. They put me on like a 3-week probation and stuff. Like I got like the works,
God.
and I was
man.
just like, I remember the principal like looking through it at the office while he's looking at me. He's like, "Do you know what kind of like gross stuff is this?" And I'm all
As he's
just
looking
like
at
looking.
it. You know what? I'm gonna have to hold this here in the office.
He did. He didn't. I'm sure he took it home.
Oh yeah, dude. You know he did.
No, you know what? Probably Sable too. I'm just like, I don't know. I like cougars, man.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's a 1 seed, Mike.
Years ago, I
Yeah.
mean, she's a historic 1 seed. She makes a tournament, so we're doing the tournament of hotties for March Madness,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and I have down as the 1 seeds, and this is just personal opinion.
Well, you're 1 seeds.
Well, I mean, I got to think about it a little bit more, right? So we're considering the 1 seeds, and I think that there's 2 that are like they're gonna be 1 seeds.
Mhm.
Like no one can argue against it. One is Paige Sporonic, who I got a chance to meet last year.
Oh, nice.
The second one is Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney is.
It's a good one.
Okay,
Yeah.
those are the 1 seeds. There's got to be 2 more 1 seeds. I'm thinking of maybe Margot Robbie, or
She was really hot in The Wolf of Wall Street. Like,
She
I don't
was.
that whole persona she had. I was just like, oh my god, who are you?
Yeah, that was I like that movie, dude. It was funny, man.
now I'm waffling on the 4th number 1 because I kind of want to have somebody there that maybe is Latina, maybe somebody there who's African American for that 4th one because there's I got to think about that one, but I have a thing for Dua Lipa, dude. Dua Lipa,
Dua Lipa's pretty
She's
hot.
cute, man.
She got some junk.
she and her
She
dancing's
does.
gotten better, man. Her dancing when she
Wow,
first
you've
came
been
out-
watching her for a long time.
her dancing when she first came out was trash, man.
This is Demon Time with Demon
Demon
Mike.
time. Okay, so if you had to choose between, I know you're about 7-8 years younger than me, but you know the names:
Mhm.
Kelly Kapowski from Saved by the Bell, or Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Topanga.
Didn't
Topanga.
even hesitate.
Okay, first of all, the answer to this should be the boy in me says Kelly Kapowski, but the man in me says Topanga.
Well, sorry, but
It was always Topanga.
always Topanga.
No, man.
Topanga wanna bang you.
I mean, Topanga's cute and all, but Kelly, man, something about her, dude.
Yeah, the 90210 or whatever.
Oh
she was
yeah,
on.
bro. When
That
she-
version of her.
Yeah, that version.
She released a photo of herself at 50, her 50th
She's
50th
still
birthday.
hot. She'd be
Yeah.
hot forever, dude.
I'm going to show you that.
Oh, BB Rexa would be good too.
Hey, I didn't even mention my girl BB. BB Rexa is gonna be in the tourney.
She'll be in the tournament, but the problem with BB Rexa, she's
Mike
gone.
calls her obese, bro.
She has gone from thick.
Oh Lord.
Now she is thick with
Yeah.
CC to CK. She crossed the line the
Yeah.
last few
No,
months.
bro.
Why does
Come
she
on.
look like she's in a Lifetime movie? She's got that Lifetime movie face.
Oh, Tiffany Amber Tyson
She's
or
cute,
Thiessen or
dude.
whatever you want to
Look at
say.
her, man.
I mean, she's still rocking it. She's still bringing it these days. Maybe we should have a tournament for like the 1990s hotties.
1990 hotties.
Dude, we were talking about the other day,
Yeah.
and I know you're too young for this, but we were talking about Heather Thomas the other day from 80s because we got into Battle of the Network Stars, which was on in the 80s.
She's in the movie Zapped.
Yes, Battle of the Network Stars would have ABC celebrities take on CBS, take on NBC.
Oh, okay.
And
Like back in the 80s.
they
bro.
would do like track and field events and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Heather Thomas went on there. And Heather Thomas, this
the cameraman.
This
bro.
was 40 years ago. And we talk about this way too often. But Battle of the Network
Socio
Stars.
cameraman.
You know who was hot? The lady from Weird Science.
Oh yes.
Oh, wait. Weird Science. Oh,
what's her name? Kelly something.
Kelly LeBrock.
LeBrock. Oh yeah, bro.
I would watch that movie just for her. Like I would just be dumbfounded. Like
so hot.
Why don't
how
they?
hot
Build,
she
why aren't
was.
women built like this anymore?
She was built for speed. That's Jeff's.
Salma Hayek. I just hear Salma's voice and I just get totally turned off.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if she was naked and she started talking, I'd be like, I'm gonna go now.
Oh, I got a call. Hold up. I'll be right back. Start
Why
the
don't
car.
you want to look at me? And like,
No. I'd be like, just don't talk.
BB Rexa. I mean, she hot.
What's wrong with baby?
She hot.
I think Mike's just afraid, man.
Matthew, I get
That's a little bit much, man. That's a little bit much. What's that other girl's name? Lainey Wilson. I like
Samantha
her.
Fox.
I like her. Dude, if you have a name named Samantha Fox, you better be hot.
Oh yeah, you better have like that, like either that really like cougar mom hair, or I think you guys are too old for me. Probably.
Oh, Chris Gonzalez saying Emily Ratajkowski. That is a very good 2-seed potential. Emily Ratajkowski is amazing, dude.
Dude, I'm surprised you pronounced it right. I would have been a Ratajkowski, Jujuwalski.
I know her. I know a lot about her. She was in the Blurred Lines video. Remember that video?
Oh,
with
yeah,
Robert
I remember
Thicke?
that. Yeah.
You know, she was the one getting smoke blown up in her face. So, what high school did you go to, by the way? Did you?
I went to John F. Kennedy High School for like 3 weeks because I knocked my wife up pretty young.
Oh, man.
And then I got a job, and then I went to like Las Palmas Library to get my GED.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we have an opportunity for you to go back to school if you'd like to graduate like properly. So I went to Clark for like a week, but I didn't even go to the school or walk the stage or anything. They just gave me my diploma, and then they're like, here you go. I didn't even have to show up. They didn't allow me. So I was like, okay.
We're talking to Clark High School graduate Joe Coronado right now.
I don't even know if it's even real. It probably says Las Palmas graduate.
My favorite thing about Clark, my favorite thing about going to Clark is that, and it's been a while since I've been on campus, but they had on campus a security service federal credit union. They had a Starbucks.
What the fuck?
And they had like a smoothie shop in there on
Where?
campus
Teaching people about credit and everything.
Where was this at?
Damn.
at Clark.
Oh man. I went to West Campus, bro.
I got my tacos from Picnic, bro, and my coffee
Picnic was it the one?
on General McMullen, bro.
General
right?
McMullen?
General McMullen and Alamo.
Oh,
they have good. They have
We'd
good tacos
all
there.
just meet up in the morning. We'd all grab our 2-3 tacos and we just walk to school. It was like a 20-minute walk.
Oh, the one that we would go to was I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about because I went to a church on Jewett Street.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And there was a picnic kind of going over there by like Escobar Middle School,
Mhm.
which is, you know, RIP Escobar and RIP Edgewood, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
as well. But man, my favorite restaurant back there was Tacos Martinez.
Dude, yes, I know what you're talking about.
Dude, how that place hasn't been shut down for health inspection.
Yeah.
Those are the best places to eat. I think even the health inspectors know, like, we can't fuck with this.
Dude, you go into the restroom, it could be in the middle of winter. It's 140 degrees in there. What are they doing in there?
Hey, if you've eaten there, you don't need the COVID shot, bro.
No, no.
Same thing with Joe's Volcano. If you've been to Joe's Volcano,
If
You
you've been to Grams, you don't need the COVID
Yeah.
shot, bro.
hey, Mike's been to Grams before.
Yeah, dude, I witnessed a stabbing there.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. That's not
Yeah.
a tall tale. I witnessed a stabbing.
What
there.
was the other place that used to have the airplane? Remember we talked about that? That's out there by used to be by the mall. Now it's by it's Alamo Draft House.
Okay.
It's out there by San Pedro. What was the name of that old mall they used to have there?
Was it Central Park?
Central Park. I think it was
Yeah,
Central
it's
Park
probably
Mall,
Central
but they
Park
had like a nightclub in there, and they had a plane that was up mounted near the. It looks like it was coming through the wall, and all that. It was a nightclub. It was a bar.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
I
about.
don't
That sounds
remember the name
familiar.
of that place. but they had like several like bars in there, and they had different
You're talking
genres
about
of music.
Park Place, are you?
Maybe it was Park Place.
Yeah, because you had the it was the top 40 upstairs. It was like it's like you go into Park Place on the very top, and it closer 9 Inch Nails, I Want to Fuck You Like an Animal was on every 5th song. And then you had the karaoke place, you had the country bar downstairs.
Yeah.
Then you had the disco place downstairs. Yeah, it was good times there, man.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to my daughter. My daughter's 20 years old. She just recently graduated from LSU, and she says that nightclubs aren't a thing anymore.
No, they're not. I went to I think I went to back to the Bonham like maybe like a few months ago, and you walk in there and it's not the same vibe. I don't know if it's maybe because I'm older. Maybe now I'm that 30-year-old guy that was standing at the wall when I was 20. Like I'm that guy now.
Yeah.
But no, it's not the same. It's very, the only word I can use is very social media driven. It's like people only go to the clubs because they hear a particular song. It's trendy, but nobody, and then on top of that, like nobody gets fucked up like they used to. Like go to a nightclub now and it's like, oh, I don't really drink so much, or and things are just expensive now too. Like
They're drinking those seltzers and all that kind of stuff. Now. It's not my scene.
I've seen a lot of like bonfire type parties. People are doing more things at home, or if like a friend of mine, he throws big parties in his backyard all the time.
Yeah.
But the thing that's in right now is emo nights.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
People are going to these. They're like, we hate nightclubs, but they're literally blasting music over speakers and mosh pitting in the middle of a dance floor. So it's a club. That time y'all sound so stupid. But that's what's popular right now. Like bars are blowing up right now. People want to go to dive bars. It reminds me of like the 90s.
And I think festivals are big too. They do a lot of festivals.
People are putting all of their money in festivals and bars and clubs. I think clubs are going to go the way of the mall.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, when I went to the Bonham, it was dead.
Nobody's there.
I went on a Saturday, like probably around 11, and that's usually when people start rolling in. And I mean, maybe for like an hour, it looked like it was popping, but you would just, it's so easy to maneuver around there now. Yeah. It's like,
hey, Bar 1919 is a testament to how popular bars can be. Because if you go there like on a Friday night, Saturday night, it's packed, man. Yeah. And they sell bougie drinks there. You know, like you can get expensive pours.
I owe Jeff Garcia a lot of drinks from there.
I'll bet.
You know, but he's always said that it's cheap there. But man, I look at Bar 1919. I love that place. It's expensive over there in Southtown.
Yeah.
But he's coming in from New York where he's used to spending a lot of money for one cocktail. The money over here is different, man.
Yeah.
It is different. Tell us what you're working on, man. We're going to wrap things up. Tell us what you're working on and how we can find you.
Yeah. So you can find me on all platforms under Chancla Academy. Right now, we're just getting ready to put out some new content. Hopefully before my next Rockfest coming up August 3rd, we'll have our official Manguera water out for everybody to drink. It looks exactly like a water hose.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, we got a lot of things in the works that I can't talk about right now. You guys will just kind of have to wait and see what we're doing for the community. And we're gonna get San Antonio involved a lot more in my content. So
that's great. And that's one thing that we were joking about the other day too, because we had said Manguera water, it has a certain flavor.
Yeah.
The plastic, and all that. And it's like
I only mainly remember is where when we turn on the hose, we would hold it off and wait for that hot water to build up. And then I've never had Manguera water and just hit somebody in the face. Yeah, they would have like a red mark on their face, and we're like, you're not part of the group.
So, you got to get all the dirt and ants out, man. And why it was red coming out for a little while?
It was rust.
I'm not sure. That is Joe Coronado. He hates the Hana music, but he does other things all poodle. Thanks for being with us, man.
Thank you, man, for having me.
Appreciate it. Joe, want to add anything before we wrap up?
Hey, man, if you all can, go and check out the new Dad Rock Spotify playlist for the week. The theme was, of course, Dad Rock. Next week is going to be a different theme. I put in 30 songs for this playlist. They're all bangers, man. So I even put in one just for you, Mike. STP.
Nice.
And
nice.
I feel
so much depends on the weather. I love that, dude. I love that. And don't forget, is Rudy Campos on today, 2:00?
Rudy Campos is going to be on today
Sweep
from 2 to 3:30, man. So tune in.
2 to 3:30. And then we also have a new episode of Generation Duo.
Yeah, with
on
Brandon
the Alamo
Medina.
City Podcast Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the way out. If you want to buy us a coffee, we got the QR code on the top left.
People have donated, by the way, because I did check. So I appreciate you guys, man. We really do.
Very nice, man. Very nice. Got to get more equipment. That's where it goes
Of
to.
course, man.
My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe. That's Joe. That's the end of the show. Everyone have a great Friday.
We'll see you guys. Have a good one. Peace.
That's how you know.